Okay.
Well, just pretend this is my interview. So,
Okay.
my name is Jilian Knighten, founder of Millennial Strategies. I'm here with Mercedes Barba. If we embarrass ourselves, I can always edit this out, Mercedes. Mercedes is an amazing PR woman that I've been working with lately, trying to get some press, grow my business, get some new clients. So, I definitely wanted to, I could brag about you all day.
Ah,
We hit some major milestones within the first 2 weeks of working together. I was on a podcast, had three different articles drop in the first month. The first one was Business Insider, and I got paid. Crazy testimonial. But Mercedes, I'm going to let you talk about yourself. Why'd you want to go full time in this? Why do you believe so hard in PR? Let both of our audiences know a little bit.
awesome. Well, Jillian, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. So, again, my name is Mercedes Barba. I am a former I am a former journalist turned publicist. So, I spent about 15 years in journalism. I'm originally from LA. I worked covering red carpets, interviewing celebrities. I interviewed Jim Carrey, Cameron Diaz, Jason Segel, Morgan Freeman, like you name it. Dustin Hoffman. I interviewed them because I was doing a lot of red carpets for film festivals and interviewing directors. And I realized, like, as cool as that was, there was something that was missing for me. And so I always wanted to live in New York City. So I ended up applying to NYU to get my master's in journalism. So I moved to New York. But it was there that I fell into working in personal finance because I was trying to figure out exactly, I'm like, okay, well, I tried entertainment and that was cool and all, but what am I going to do in New York? And I have a professor that connected me to an amazing opportunity at CNBC, which is NBC Universal's major finance news channel. And so I was put on the team for a series that still exists today. It's called CNBC Make It. It's their inspirational, aspirational series where they interview entrepreneurs doing really cool things like uh, I quit my six-figure business to launch a hot dog stand, and now look how cool this is. Like, and now I'm making money. Or I just sold my business for $1 billion or whatever. So we were going around interviewing some really cool entrepreneurs that had done some really cool stuff. So I started realizing very quickly that finance and entrepreneurship and business was it touched every aspect of our lives. And I was covering like sports and breaking news and movies and this and, and interviewing a lot of celebrities. And so that was a really cool thing for me. In the course of my journalism career, I have covered investing, retirement, stock market, 401ks, Roth IRAs, budgeting, high yield savings accounts, like anything in the finance world that relates to money. I have covered business. I have covered it. And so I started realizing very quickly the power that journalism and media companies hold for small business owners. Because as I hopped around from CNBC to Bankrate to Now This News, which is a millennial news company, to Time Magazine, I started realizing like, the entrepreneurs that we are profiling here are blowing up. And a lot of the entrepreneurs that we were featuring were small. So I left journalism to launch my business full time, Mercedes and Media. It's my overarching business where I have two arms of my business. The first one is I'm a PR firm for finance experts. So anybody that wants to be in the finance space, if you want to be on Yahoo Finance, Charles Schwab Network, Business Insider, CNBC, I'm your girl for PR. But if you are just an entrepreneur that wants to learn how to do your own media, I also have the other arm of my business where I coach entrepreneurs on how to do it. So that's just a little bit about me. Hopefully, it wasn't too much, but I realized that that finance and PR is important for all entrepreneurs to at least learn how to do it, or at least kind of start considering and thinking about why it could be beneficial for you.
I'm sorry, I had to plug up my laptop. I always have to plug up my laptop. Got five devices and they always did. Um, but we definitely share a similar story in terms of like I'm in music as well. So I started out doing music and then I transitioned into finance. So I'm basically a finance educator by day and then in music and entertainment by night. So um, what I learned from the entertainment space is how attention is what grows your business. And so like if you had to explain to finance guys, you know, what is it that you feel like they aren't getting? What's not clicking to them about the importance of having an audience in order to grow your clientele?
Yeah.
If for no other reason that you want to help people improve their lives.
Yeah. I think a lot of entrepreneurs nowadays don't realize how readily available or within grasp the media is. I mean, Jillian, you and I have worked together, and the first week we worked together, you told me your story, and I was like, "Oh, that's a Business Insider story," like boom, right away. And we got you in Business Insider. And and you have your business, you have your clients, but you're not like Kim Kardashian, right? You're not Mark Cuban or Jeff Bezos. You're you, and you have your trials and tribulations, and the media is always looking for that. Like that's the kind of storytelling that they need. So I think a lot of entrepreneurs don't realize within like how within reach media actually is for them. And
Yeah.
so I feel like I need to kind of share that with everybody and be like, no, like let's grow your business through the media. Let's get you connected with these legacy URLs that are going to drive clients to your site. I mean, you told me right now, right before we started recording, you got your feature in Business Insider and it has driven 200 clicks for you. That's major, right?
Yeah.
I never get 200 clicks from my website from Instagram ever. Uh, because a lot of these social media platforms are made to keep you on that platform. They're not going to turn
Right.
people off, right? But these media companies, they're going to tag you in there and they're going to link your website. And so when people are reading the articles, they're going to click your website, go to your site, and it's a win, right? I have a client that we got her also on a Business Insider feature, and it drove 5,000 clicks to her site. 5,000. Like
Yeah.
that is something you're never going to get from Instagram or TikTok or anything
You're
else.
talking about $300 a month for ads to get that kind of traffic, especially if what you do is boring.
Wow, I didn't know that. But yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And who has that disposable income? And for you, you got paid to write your Business Insider story. So you're not spending $300 a month on ads. You are gaining
Yeah.
$300, to write that article from Business Insider.
Yeah. That was, thinking that media was so far out of my reach is one of the things I struggle with the longest. So I'm an audio engineer, and part of my curriculum was to learn about the music business when I was in school. And they always used to say that, build your PR list and get in magazines and whatever, and podcasts and all those things. And I was like, well, who do I call? And so they were like, well, get on Instagram and just reach out. I would send, 20, 30, 50 texts a day and not getting a response. And I'm like, no one's responding to my emails. No one wants to talk to me on Instagram because they know I'm spam. They basically assume I'm spam, right?
Yeah.
And so, anyway, when I saw your videos on Instagram, you just convinced me that it would be easy.
Oh,
I don't know what it,
it's working.
yeah. I don't know if you like brainwashed me or what, but you broke it down in a way to where you convinced me that you had a system
Mhm.
and plug it into your system from your mastermind to your one-on-one calls. Like for the last couple of weeks, I've been going through some personal things, a breakup and all kind of things.
Yeah.
And just our one-on-one time and you encouraging me, challenging me, I can't tell you, it's been worth every penny. on
Jillian.
on
Damn.
top of us actually successfully doing
Right.
what I paid you to do, which
Right.
was get me into media.
Yeah.
So I'm confident that not only can I do this for myself moving forward, but I could possibly do it for my clients who I
Yep.
already serve in terms of consulting to their businesses and marketing, social media marketing in general, all
Yep.
those things. So
Exactly.
kudos to you.
Thank you. And I appreciate that. And that's why I'm here is like I want to make sure that it's in within reach. And it is a system. It's really not it's really not hard, right? To
Yeah.
do it. Like it's not.
Yeah.
But if you don't know who the hell to reach out to or how to even craft your story or what the media is even looking for, you're like you're shooting in the dark and it's not going to land anywhere. But if you have somebody that can give you the skills either to teach you or I'll take it off your plate and I'll do it for you. That's worth its weight in gold. So I'm thank you for saying that and sharing that. And yeah, it's awesome.
Delegating, when you said take it off my plate,
Mhm.
yes, I loved that you were able to do that. Craft my story in a way where you could take it off my plate. In other words, you asked me amazing questions that help uncover deeper answers that would be beneficial to the readers or my clients, potential clients, or whatever. Um, Maybe you could talk a little bit about, um, let's say someone's intimidated to tell their story or don't know where to start. Um, what magic do you bring to the table to help them just kind of make it easy?
Yeah, it's a great question. I have my group, my weekly coaching mastermind, and a lot of entrepreneurs come in, and I'm like, all right, you, Julia, I want you on KTLA 5, and you, Jillian, I want you on Business Insider. And when someone tells you that and you've never done media, for me, it's easy. Like I can be on Business Insider today. I can be on a big podcast tomorrow. It's easy for me to do it because I've been in the industry for so long that I know how to talk. I know how to what stories to share. But for entrepreneurs that are just coming into my mastermind, I think they get a little scared and they're like, "Oh my God, Mercedes wants me on KTLA 5," and I'm, the local channel. I live in LA. That's our local Channel 5 station. I'm
Mm,
like, "Yeah, I want you on Channel 5. You know why? Because you have a really great story that they're going to resonate with. They're going to love." And but there's a lot of really good low-hanging fruit that I like to kind of start off my clients with. So Authority Magazine is a really good one. Voyage is a really good one. There's a couple podcast Facebook groups that you can go on. There's one called Find a Guest, Be a Guest, where you can go on and say, "Hi, my name is Jilian Knighten, Jilian Torre, and I am a music artist and financial consultant by day, music artist by night." And if you ever have if anybody's looking for any guests, I would love to be a guest. So those are really good, like low hanging fruits. I think a lot of it too is like reading the news. Um,
mm,
you always want to make sure you're kind of staying up to date with like your competitors or people in your space that are doing really cool things and what are they talking about and why are they getting on these platforms as
yeah.
opposed
You
to
mentioned that in the mastermind, like keeping up with current events so that if you can contribute to the conversation, that's one of the easiest ways to get in the door.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly like one of my clients is a CPA. And she's awesome and she's a finance educator and she's amazing. And when the tax bill, the tax bill passed and Trump signed it on the 4th of July, I positioned her as an expert. And so we got her two stories in Fortune magazine. That's
Mm,
huge, right?
yeah.
Because I was like, here's my client. She's a CPA. She can talk about what's going on with the tax bill, right? She's an accountant. She knows her taxes.
Mm,
And here's how it's going to affect everyday Americans. And
yeah.
we present it in an unbiased way, but in a timely way, depending on whatever your political opinions are, we're all being affected, pros and cons, good or bad, by things going on in the world. And I'm going to position my client as somebody that can talk about that. And so we were able to land her two Fortune inclusions. And that
Yeah.
was big. That was major, right?
People understand the idea of taking advantage of trends on social media, but why not take advantage of trends in major media?
Right.
That
Exactly.
makes sense. Yeah.
And Google, and one of the things that, sorry for interrupting you, but one of the big things that I talk about in media is SEO. And
Hmm.
it's a very nuanced concept because a lot of entrepreneurs don't even, they can barely even like turn on their phones, right? But
Yeah.
SEO is something that you should really pay attention to because it is how Google recognizes you in search. So if we are connecting JillianKnighten.com, millennialsolutionshoustons.com, millennial strategies, with a legacy URL like Time Magazine, like Business Insider, right? Then Google's going to start recognizing you as more of an expert in the space. So the more of these legacy URLs that you're connected with, the better for your business because people are going to Google Jillian Knighten. You're going to come up in all of these like high searches or
Yeah.
like money expert or finance expert, and you're going to come up, right? So that's another really big part of it. It's hard for me to kind of talk about that, but I think it's a really important thing that we need to focus on.
Yeah, no, that was definitely one of the things I wanted to get from you, learn how to
Yeah.
do so that I could communicate that to my clients. I've got some local clients that are spa owners and they're like, why don't we come at the top of our local search? There's a place all the way down in South Houston coming up before us in North Houston. And I'm like, it's because of your SEOs.
Yeah. So creating blog posts is really good to help build your SEO and using like keyword terms. I have a really great SEO contact that I should connect you with, Jillian.
Mm,
But you know, creating a blog, adding in these like key points, like talking about like things that are specifically related to your industry, and then also having you in Business Insider talking about that,
mm,
those keywords, because the more
yeah.
keywords that are connected with you, the more Google's going to start pushing you up.
Yeah. It was crazy the day my first article came out. Like my when I searched myself on Google, before that it would be like random stuff. But like after the article, it was like Yahoo Finance, Business Insider, what was it? Something else. I don't know. It was like a bunch of it was just crazy. It
And
blew my
that
mind.
and that is, I'm so glad you mentioned that because those are called syndications.
Okay,
So
yeah.
it went out to Business Insider and then Business Insider fed it to a bunch of other like services like
Yeah.
Yahoo. and some other ones. So those syndications, it's like 10 birds with one stone. You get one feature on Business Insider, and then boom, it's like Yahoo, this, MSN, AOL. Like that's I love when that happens. That's the best.
Yeah. It just makes you look so legit.
Yeah.
So, all right. I know we're running out of time here. We we pieced this together really fast, but I appreciate you spending some time with me. And we're gonna put this interview on both of our channels, and hopefully we help some people. Okay. So.
Oh, 100%. If anybody has any PR questions, come to Jilian because she's a master at it.
I'm a master now.
She's a master now, but I do have my group coaching program where I'll teach entrepreneurs how to do it. And then I also have my PR firm where I do manage finance experts in the space. So if anybody has questions, send me a note.
Mercedes Barba PR.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, I know you got to get out of here. So take care. And I guess I'll see you next week, huh?
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
All right.